From making gourmet biscuits in his backyard to being the first Australian to conquer the North and South magnetic poles, for our next guest, the thrill of adventure could not be deterred, even if it almost cost him his life. But anything the natural world threw at him could not match the helplessness and heartache of seeing his newborn son undergo open-heart surgery.
Well, staying determined and positive, we welcome Peter Bland with his son Angus, who've both endured open-heart surgery. And joining them is Angus's cardiac surgeon, Professor Christian Brizard from the Royal Children's Hospital. Thank you so much for coming in.
Good morning, all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Christian,
and also we welcome Teddy Baby.
Teddy Baby.
Teddy Baby's there as well.
Who's been through the ringer, I think.
Has more surgery than me, which is a big shock.
Teddy's had a bit of open-heart surgery too, by the look of it.
Christian, if I could ask you first, this is a staggering statistic. Twice as many children die of congenital heart disease in Australia than all childhood cancers combined. Why is that?
Well, it is true, but it is it's not a competition. It shows that the awareness for cardiac condition in children is not as high as for cancer, but there are much more children with heart conditions than there are with children with cancer. So that's why the statistics are such.
And is it therefore harder to fix?
No. There's first the condition for heart condition varies. There's a very big range of condition. There are conditions that can be managed just by medication. There are conditions that can be managed by diet, just pure diet.
And some that, like VSDs,
some that need to be operated on, and most of these we do very well now, and some of them we cannot treat. So that is why there is a very large range, and we cannot say the mortality is just related to the surgery or to the condition. It's a very big problem, and there are more children affected by a heart condition than by any other disease.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Peter, let's talk about your situation, because you had your first open heart surgery when you were a kid.
Yeah, well, I was born with a hole in my heart when I was 0. They couldn't actually operate. I mean, it shows you probably the advances in time, you see. I mean,
did they know you had a hole in the heart?
No, they didn't. In fact, it took my brother pushing me down the steps of a friend's holiday home. The mum and dad thought I'd broken some ribs in the Geelong hospital, and the surgeon, or the doctor there said, well, look, he hasn't got any broken ribs, but he's got a dodgy ticker. But we had to wait 4 more years until I was a bit bigger before I could be operated on.
Well, and this is the extraordinary thing, because Angus had his operation at 6 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is it the same?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
same
Christian's
condition?
better qualified slightly to speak on this.
It's not exactly the same condition.
But it would be congenital? Genetic?
When the next of kin, well, the parents have a heart condition, the statistics show that the children have a higher chance to have to be born with a heart condition, a congenital anomalies, we say.
Yeah.
But it is slightly more elevated, not staggering.
Right. So, it was a hole in the heart.
It's the different part of the heart, but a hole in the heart as well.
And he's had an operation, and he's fine now.
He's very good. Look at him.
He's very robust.
Yes,
and he's got more hair than he's got.
Well, every time he gets a haircut, I say, Daddy, can Daddy have some of your hair?
But so you've now had 2 operations, heart operations, but you deserve that because you're crazy, really, aren't you?
I don't know. Some would say I bring it on myself, yes. Although I've quietened down somewhat since then.
Let's talk about that. The first one you had when you were a child, obviously, to correct the hole in your heart. But then your adventures got you into a heap of trouble later on in life, really, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and Christian might be able to clarify if one brought on the other. But yes, I was navigating a team to the South Magnetic Pole in 1996.
As you do.
As you do. And, you know, I mean, I talk a lot in public speaking about opportunities, but opportunities, they're slippery little suckers, you know. And this opportunity came my way, and it was a rope wrapped around a propeller of the prop of the yacht in Antarctica, and we're in Commonwealth Bay. You've got icebergs bobbing around the size of small countries, and you don't want to hit them. Well, the wind died down, and because the wind died down, we naturally put the engine in gear. The prop goes on, it grabs a hold of this rope, which is wrapped around the propeller. No more prop, no more motor, no more getting to Antarctica.
So, of course, someone's got to get in there.
So, for 3 days we tried to avoid that, and I did everything possible to try and get the thing off, you know, pulling it backwards and pulling the bilge boards out, but ultimately somebody had to dive over the side to cut the rope free.
And you put your hand up?
Well, I put my hand up, I just went in. You know, like, for me, I saw it as an opportunity. I said, well, listen, you know, I said to the patron for the trip, I said, listen, David, I'm volunteering to do this. And he said, are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious, but I'm not stupid. I want 3 things. I said, I want it filmed, hence the footage.
Yeah.
Thirdly...
The first thing you thought about.
The first thing, that's how I think.
I want a medivac standing by.
Secondly, I said I want the international film rights to the footage.
Second thing.
And thirdly, I want you to invite me to be navigator on an Anglo-Australian expedition to the North Magnetic Pole. Because a kid from the bush with a scar wants to get his bit of fame. He wants to be like Sir Douglas Mawson.
Right.
So
You are hilarious, because what actually, I'm going to get to the end of the story, what actually happened is you ended up with an aneurysm in the heart and you had to have another heart operation.
Now, how does that work? It was so cold.
Well, that's right.
That causes the aneurysm?
You can't say that one caused the other, but the fact is, and my surgeon had said this, and he said it in the book too, that, you know, I could have lived a life possibly, and the aneurysm may have just laid dormant, you know, if it doesn't get exacerbated. But mine grew. So 8 months after that incident, I came back here, and I was pulling a tyre on Albert Park Beach. People thought I was mad. So I had a T-shirt made up saying, I'm not mad, I just want your money. And I was raising funds to live my dream, you know, to get the North Magnetic Pole. But, you know, I collapsed with chronic pneumonia, and the pneumonia was brought on because my aneurysm had grown so large.
Gosh.
It collapsed my left lung and pushed my heart across to the right.
Right, so you had surgery again.
You're in trouble.
So then we had to have surgery. But in terms of Kim's point about, you know, bring it on yourself, I remember...
No, I didn't say that, did I? I think he did.
Much bigger surgery than the first one, no?
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that scar goes from... The first one was that, the other one goes from there to there. Right. But right the way around.
Right around the back.
Right, what's it? I don't know.
So that, and still that didn't stop you, did it? Because then you went off to... Your next adventure was to the North Pole.
Well, you know, I mean... You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And I'm very fortunate to surround myself with a very smart person, my beautiful wife. And she knew that I was...
And good surgeons.
She knew that I was very beaten up about this surgery coming up, because like some, you know, person taking a chopper chop off a child, I was very upset about this surgery. Not about the surgery, I'd beaten that when I was a kid. I was upset because somebody had taken away my dream to go to the North and become the first. And so Jules said to me, baby, accept it. You're not going to become the first Australian to the North Magnetic Pole this year. But you do it next year. So with relation to surgery, absolute purpose, goal, where to go. And when the surgeons, you know, the anaesthetist was putting me to sleep, just temporarily, he said, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "Top of the world," because that's where I'm going to be in 12 months' time.
Right.
Yeah, and you did. Let's kind of finish this part of the story quickly. You actually did go there, but you nearly died in the process.
Oh well, yeah. Well, it's real relative.
Again.
I mean, you can cross Chapel Street and die. I mean, that was a challenging trip. I must say, you know, it was minus 30 degrees ambient, plus wind chill, so minus 60 wind chill factor. But the thing that was going through my mind wasn't the polar bears or the falling through the ice or anything else. It was actually the sponsors the promises I made to sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of the promises I made was to a friend of mine who had a clothing company, but it was an underwear company. And I had to shoot this ad. Anyway, that was what going through my mind.
Dear, oh dear.
Let's quickly talk about Heart Kids, and this is a brand new foundation, isn't it?
It's not really new. It's several years old, but it is a magnificent organisation.
But it has come together as Heart Kids just recently.
It has come together as a national organisation. There was Heart Kids in every state. And there were Heart Kids in every state, and now it's a gathering of all the foundations.
And to raise money for research, is it?
It's to raise money for research, to raise money for awareness, to raise money to improve the facilities in every state hospital, children's hospital. There is a ball coming up soon where there is going to be a fundraising to improve our ward, because we have a very nice hospital, but it's the equipment, isn't it? That's the important part. The equipment is very good, but the building and the facilities are a bit antiquated.
Antiquated.
All right, well, Heart Kids, that's the foundation. Amazing work, and thank you all for your time this morning.
It's all parents of children with heart conditions.
Yeah. Isn't it
It's
terrific?
absolutely well worth
Extremely
supporting.
dedicated, fantastic work.
Yeah, Christian, thank you for coming in. And Angus, thank you so much.
Thanks, Angus.
And
Good
thanks for
lad.
bringing in Teddy
Baby.
Baby.
Thanks, Peter.
Pleasure, thank you.
All right, we'll be back with more of us after this.